We are about to start the program. Can I request everyone to please get seated? And another request is if you can please silence your cell phones and not to get up during the program. Thank you.
Are you done? Today we stand on the edge of tomorrow. Mr. Narayana Murthy, Mr. Kailash Satyarthi, Mr. Madhu Pandit Dasa, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and namaskar to everybody. If I may say so, we are not just sharing a room today, we are sharing a mission to carve out a future that mirrors our highest hopes, our deepest aspirations. The United Nations Secretary General, His Excellency Mr. Antonio Guterres, said it best. This is about more than graphs and charts. It's about the laughter in schools, the first breaths of newborns, the smiles of mothers who can provide, and the pride of families living with dignity. And India is at the heart of this vision. We are taking bold steps, especially in eradicating poverty. Our actions today are painting the canvas of tomorrow. It's a journey of hope, a journey of change. And we've already made history. Over 415 million people in India have stepped out of poverty. Among the 25 countries that halved their multi-dimensional poverty within 15 years, much ahead of 2030. But we are not stopping here. Our mantra, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future, guides us. At the G20 summit last year, we showcased millets, our heritage crop, to the world. The Pradhan Mantri Poshan Shakti Nirman initiative is a giant leap towards zero hunger. It's nurturing over 100 million children across 1 million schools, incorporating millets, marking a stride forward in the global fight against hunger. Our Prime Minister says, India is driven by its ancient wisdom and its commitment to global well-being. And standing as a testament to this commitment is the Akshaya Patra initiative, recognized by Harvard Business School, among many others, for its innovative approach to solving hunger and achieving education goals. Akshaya Patra aims to feed 3 million children by 2025. Their efforts shine as a model of hope and a template for impactful action. This goes beyond feeding the hungry. It's about educating the young and empowering women, driving both SDG 2, zero hunger, and SDG 4, quality education by incentivizing children to attend school. The Prime Minister of India, referencing our great epics, had once said profoundly, Utsaho balvanarya nastyotsaha parambalam sotsahasya cha lokeshu na kinchit api durlabham. From Sanskrit to English, enthusiasm is our most powerful force, yet when it is steered by our reflection and reason, it becomes even mightier. For one who masters this, no challenge is too great. And Akshaya Patra embodies this spirit. To all of you here today, your presence speaks volumes. You are part of this transformative journey. Congratulations to Akshaya Patra and a warm welcome to our distinguished panel and guests. Let's continue to light the way forward, building a future filled with resilience, compassion, and prosperity. I would say as I close that together we are more than just participants in a conference. We are builders of a future that shines, should shine, bright for everyone. Thank you for joining us on this remarkable journey towards a world that is more inclusive and full of hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruchira ji, for those kind words. I'm Rachana Kulkarni from Akshaya Patra, and I'll be your Master of Ceremony today. It is my honor now to invite Shri Chanchalapathi Dasa for the welcome remarks. Shri Chanchalapathi Dasa is the co-founder and vice chairman of Akshaya Patra Foundation that feeds 2.2 million children every day over 20,000 government schools in India. Formerly a student of IIT Bangalore, he oversaw the building of Akshaya Patra organization over the last 20 years. Now he's involved in the strategic leadership of the organization. Thank you.
On behalf of the Akshaya Patra Foundation and the 2.1 million children we feed every day in India, I wish to express my deepest gratitude to the United Nations and to the Permanent Mission of India to the UN for celebrating the significant achievements of India in food security and UN Sustainable Development Goal of Zero Hunger and the contributions of Akshaya Patra Foundation. One of the important and successful programs of India to make significant strides towards zero hunger is the PM POSHAN program. This program provides fresh cooked meals to all children in government-run schools spread all over the country by setting up a kitchen in each school. India has a large and diverse population. This poses innumerable challenges in the implementation of even well-conceived and well-funded welfare programs of the government. Realizing this, the government of India made a strategic decision to involve NGOs in the implementation of the school meal program and gave them the freedom to explore innovative approaches to enhance effectiveness and efficiency of the program. Akshaya Patra Foundation is one such NGO, and we attempted a unique centralized kitchen model as an implementing partner of the government's school meal program. We set up large, semi-automated, centralized kitchens to prepare 50,000 meals and even 100,000 meals at a time. Because of the centralized kitchens, we have better control of operations, standardize the meal and nutrition content, deploy appropriate technology, implement food safety measures, and derive cost efficiency due to the scale of production. We transport the cooked meals to the schools in insulated stainless steel containers. The school meal program is a strategic intervention program that feeds children in schools to address classroom hunger and nutritional requirements of children. These children come from the most vulnerable families, and the meal is an incentive to bring them to school and keep them in school. Once these children are well fed, nourished, and educated, they will escape from the cycle of poverty. In that sense, this program provides the proverbial fish and the fishing rod to children. Akshaya Patra's mission is to ensure no child in India is deprived of education because of hunger. The driving force for the Akshaya Patra program comes from the spirit given by our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. He taught from the ancient Indian texts, I am Bandhuhu, these are my family members, Anyam na, others are not my family members. Iti ganana laghu chetasam is the thinking of the small-minded people. Udara charitanam tu, the large-hearted people think, Vasudhaiva kutumbakam, the entire world is my family. Today, Akshaya Patra has 72 kitchens in the country, feeding 2.1 million children every day in 24,000 schools. Over the last 24 years, we have served cumulatively 4 billion meals, and here we are to share the story of India and the story of Akshaya Patra Foundation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. May I please invite Her Excellency, Ambassador Ruchira Kamboj, Permanent Representative of India to the United Nations, to share with us the beautiful address by our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi ji.
Thank you so much, and it is my honor to read out the message of His Excellency, the Prime Minister of India, specially sent for this remarkable occasion. It is with immense pride and joy that I congratulate the entire team of the Akshaya Patra Foundation on the remarkable milestone of serving 4 billion meals. This achievement stands as a testament to an unwavering commitment to eradicate hunger and provide nourishment to humanity. The significance of this milestone is further highlighted by serving the meal at the United Nations headquarters in New York, showcasing a passion for global well-being. As we celebrate this milestone, we must reflect on the intrinsic value that food holds in our vibrant culture. From the sacred Annaprashan ceremony marking a child's first rice meal, to the concept of a thali, emphasizing the importance of a balanced diet, our societal ethos creates an interplay between nutrition, diet, and diversity. The Akshaya Patra Foundation's relentless efforts in serving billions of meals celebrate and carry forward these cherished traditions. Akshaya Patra has served meals to countless children, ensuring the makers of the world's future are well-nourished. I fondly recollect the occasion when I served the 3 billionth meal at Vrindavan, as well as the opening of the Akshaya Patra kitchen at Varanasi. Over the years, the foundation has expanded its reach, serving meals to underserved communities during times of crisis and natural disasters. Your work during the COVID-19 pandemic in different parts of the world showcases an unwavering dedication and resolute commitment to humanity. I extend my best wishes for continued success in this mission of service to humanity. Once again, best wishes for celebration of the milestone of serving the 4 billionth meal. His Excellency, the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Ruchira ji. It fills our heart with immense pride to hear that message. And now, I would like to invite Shri Narayana Murthy ji. Mr. Narayana Murthy is the founder and chairman emeritus of Infosys. Very early in his life, he realized that the only way to solve poverty in societies is through creation of jobs with good income and with this idea, Infosys came into existence. He conceptualized, articulated, and implemented the global delivery model, which has become the backbone of the Indian software industry. He has received Padma Vibhushan, Officer of Legion d'Honneur from France, and Commander of the Order of the British Empire. The Economist ranked him among the 10 most admired global business leaders in 2005. He serves on the boards of Institute of Advanced Studies at Princeton, New Jersey, and the United Nations Foundation, and has received 26 honorary doctorates across the globe. Thank you, Murthy ji.
Dignitaries on the dais, Akshaya Patra leadership and team, and guests. We are celebrating today, as part of India's progress in SDG 2, Akshaya Patra's heroism of the finest kind. Nelson Mandela once said, "There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children." Eleanor Roosevelt said, "The freedom of man, I contend, is the freedom to eat." Derek Bok, a very successful former president of Harvard University, once said, "If you think education is expensive, please try ignorance." Akshaya Patra team leadership and supporters are heroes to the entire world because they are fighting a noble triple objective war that will make the wishes of Mahatma Gandhi and the three great leaders that I spoke about earlier a reality. It is a tough and hard battle, no doubt about it, but it is a battle worth fighting for. It is a battle worth fighting for, as President Kennedy once said, "We will go to the moon not because it is easy, but because it is hard, and we are worthy of it." Congratulations, Akshaya Patra. You, Akshaya Patra leadership, team members, and supporters are supporting a revolution in your own low-key, peaceful, but effective ways. You have wiped the tears of the eyes of the poor children. You raise our confidence that good things can indeed happen in India. Your heroism, nobility, sacrifice, and altruism have brought hope, joy, confidence, and better future to India's less fortunate children. For these hungry children, your meal is the first meal of the day. Otherwise, these children have had no opportunity of absorbing what the teacher taught them in the school. India has been making good economic progress thanks to the success of the economic policies of the government, the vision, hard work, and sacrifice of Indian entrepreneurs and citizens, and of course, foreign direct investment from the multinationals. The government of India runs the world's largest food security program. It benefits over 800 million people. As part of it, the school feeding program directly benefits over 118 million children. Akshaya Patra is a proud addition and a proud partner of this fantastic initiative of Government of India. You, the wonderful NRIs amongst the audience here, have raised the image of India by conducting yourselves as respected, accomplished, peaceful, model, and protective citizens of whatever society you have chosen to live in. We in India, on the other side of the pond, are very proud of you and remain very, very grateful to you all. Poverty is not unique to India. It is there in every society. Akshaya Patra makes the future of India safe by bringing inclusivity to the country's growth and making the poor people enthusiastic partners in our quest towards prosperity. Success in education requires that children get nutritious food. Your noble motto is, no child in India shall be deprived of education because of hunger. Akshaya Patra is a worthy example of a successful public-private partnership with the central and state governments. Akshaya Patra also receives assistance from corporates, philanthropists, 9,000 plus volunteers, and of course technology to give hope to these poor children. Akshaya Patra, very importantly, rises above religion, region, and caste. I congratulate the Swamijis, respected Madhu Pandit Das and Chanchalapathi Das, other trustees, and very importantly, the Indian and the US office bearers of Akshaya Patra board. This experiment, as was recounted earlier, uses 72 kitchens every day and feeds 2.1 million children from 24,082 government and aided schools in remote areas in 16 states and 2 union territories, ensuring that nutritious hot food reaches remote corners of India day after day on time requires tremendous vision, strategy, nobility, effort, commitment, enthusiasm, and adherence to excellence in execution. I am very impressed that Akshaya Patra has used technology in a big way to ensure that food is clean and delivered hot and dust-free. Any rational discussion on such an initiative would make people say it is impossible. However, the Akshaya Patra leadership and the team have proved that a plausible impossibility is better than a convincing possibility. I believe that this program has been evaluated for its benefits and found valuable to the school children. Most of you have not experienced hunger. I have. 50 years ago, I experienced hunger for 120 hours non-stop when I was hitchhiking in Europe and at a place called Niš, a border town between Bulgaria and what was then Yugoslavia and today Serbia. Success is bringing smile on the face of helpless people. Akshaya Patra is hugely successful by that count. If our poor children lose hope and faith in our society, they will turn to violence and destroy all the good that India has achieved and is hoping to achieve. Most Indians here and I have received good quality and highly subsidized education from the Indian government. Therefore, as civilized people, we must show gratitude to our nation and help the future generation of these helpless, poor children to get good education. I also appeal to the leaders of other countries, perhaps here, to emulate the Akshaya Patra model and bring joy, health, confidence, hope, and success to poor children in their own countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Murthy ji, for those inspiring words. Let us watch a short video on the PM POSHAN Abhiyan.
At the heart of India's progress is a powerful initiative that is shaping futures and nurturing dreams. This is India's visionary initiative, PM POSHAN Abhiyan. Launched in 1995 as the National Program of Nutritional Support to Primary Education, now known as PM POSHAN, ensures every school child in India receives freshly cooked meals every day. Today, the PM POSHAN Abhiyan serves over 118 million children every day in over 1.1 million schools across India. In 2000, the Akshaya Patra Foundation was established with the vision that no child in India shall be deprived of education because of hunger. With that, a breakthrough in social innovation was in the making. Akshaya Patra works in a public-private partnership model along with the Government of India, various state governments, corporates, philanthropists and individual supporters. It ensures that 2.1 million children across 16 states and 2 union territories receive freshly cooked, nutritious meals every school day. This initiative is directly aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, Zero Hunger SDG2, by ensuring nutrition for school children and enabling access to education. The journey of meals is planned and executed meticulously every day. The kitchens start early morning with cleaning and prepping of ingredients, cooking, quality checks and loading. The operation embraces technology and the kitchens are designed to operate systematically and efficiently. Food is delivered to schools in urban and rural areas. Even in challenging terrains where schools are located far off, Akshaya Patra ensures that the meal is delivered on time every time. Akshaya Patra also oversees the decentralized kitchens by providing ration and supervision. In this endeavor of bridging the gap between hunger and education, the foundation has touched the milestone of serving 4 billion meals since its inception. This one meal at school has had a larger impact. It has the power to unlock the potential of every child in India. And this is the journey of India and Akshaya Patra, a journey towards a nourished India, educated India.
What a beautiful video. May I please invite Ms. Francine Pickup, Deputy Director of UNDP Bureau of Policy and Program Support, to give her address.
Your Excellency, Ambassador Ruchira Kamboj, Permanent Representative of India to the United Nations, Excellencies, esteemed ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for inviting UNDP for this important discussion on food security hosted by the Government of India. Having served in India myself as UNDP Country Director in 2018 and 19, it's my great honor to speak with you here today. We are witnessing a global food crisis of unprecedented scale, driven by conflict, economic shock, and climate extremes. The stark reality is that over 783 million people go to bed hungry, while nearly a third of food produced for human consumption is lost or wasted worldwide. In 2023, some 333 million people faced acute levels of food insecurity, uncertain of where their next meal was going to come from. According to an estimate from the Food and Agriculture Organization, the cost of a healthy diet is out of reach for some 233 million people in the Asia-Pacific region. The fragility of our food systems leaves many communities just one step away from severe food insecurity or famine. With less than 6 years to go to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, the global community must work together to keep its promise to end hunger and malnutrition by 2030 and break the cycle of poverty. India's remarkable journey, lifting 415 million people from multidimensional poverty since 2005, demonstrates the power of targeted sustainable initiatives and offers a blueprint for achieving the SDGs. The nation's investments in sustainable, equitable, and resilient food systems underscore its commitment to end food insecurity and meet SDG 2 on zero hunger. By embracing natural farming techniques and reviving the cultivation of nutritious traditional food grains like millets, India is really leading by example. With the implementation of policies such as the National Food Security Act, the world's largest food-based social protection scheme benefiting around 813 million people, India marked a paradigm shift in its approach to food security, from one based on welfare to one based on rights. Together with Mission POSHAN 2.0, a comprehensive program focused on improving maternal and child nutrition, this demonstrates India's targeted approach to achieving SDG 2. However, despite the progress, challenges persist. While the number of undernourished people in India has declined by 60 million, from 21.7% in 2004 to 2006, 14% remained undernourished in 2017 to 19. And despite significant improvements, high rates of stunting and wasting amongst children do persist. Distinguished guests, during the G20 presidency in 2023, India emphasized the importance of innovation and investment in agriculture to increase productivity and reduce food loss. UNDP supports these efforts, for instance, through the Initiative on Data in Climate Resilience Agriculture, also known as DICRA, which harnesses open source technology and artificial intelligence to provide insights on climate resilience at the farm level, thereby strengthening food systems and food security. DICRA has been adopted for scale-up by the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. We are also a proud partner of the Government of India in the implementation of agricultural credit and insurance schemes, strengthening resilience of farmers, with over 40 million farmers enrolled in the past financial year. The future of SDG 2 hinges on sustainable, climate-resilient agriculture and food systems. UNDP is committed to continuing to support the transformation of food and agricultural commodity systems from recovery to resilience, ensuring systems are equitable, inclusive, and sustainable. We are working closely with governments to integrate the SDGs and adopt a multidisciplinary approach to address the root causes of unsustainable food systems. Our goal is not just recovery, but to build systems capable of enduring future crises, ensuring food security for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, with gratitude and humility, I would like to invite His Grace Shri Madhupandit Dasa, who is the founder and chairman of the Akshaya Patra Foundation. He's an engineer by education from IIT Mumbai and a social engineer by compassion. His resolve to end classroom hunger, backed by his technical skills, resulted in him designing the state-of-art centralized kitchens for Akshaya Patra. Under his visionary leadership, Akshaya Patra has become a globally admired public-private partnership model in the development sector, and it has resulted in feeding over 2.2 million children every day in India. And their London kitchen serves the needy as well. His guidance has resulted in the foundation rolling up its sleeves to serve during disasters across the world, like the earthquake in Nepal and Turkey, and also for feeding the vulnerable victims of floods, cyclones, and wars. Recognizing his public service, the Government of India has conferred him with Padma Shri, Gandhi Peace Prize, and National Award for Child Welfare. Please welcome Shri Madhupandit Dasa.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and dear friends, firstly, I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude for the United Nations, to United Nations and the Permanent Mission of India for giving this opportunity for Akshaya Patra to celebrate the milestone of having served 4 billion cumulative meals since inception. I thank all of you for joining us on this momentous occasion. UN's Zero Hunger is a visionary goal that aims to end hunger, achieve food security, improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. GHI, or Global Hunger Index of a nation, is a measure of its severity of hunger. India's GHI was 38.4 in the year 2000, which has reduced to 28.7 in the year 2023, indicating progress made by India in 2 decades towards ending hunger. Though it's a small improvement, there's a long way to go to achieve zero hunger. The wide impact of school midday meal is not just limited to contributing to Sustainable Development Goal 2, zero hunger. It also plays an important role in achieving several other goals of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Goal number 1, no poverty. Goal 4, quality education. Goal 5, gender equality. Goal 8, decent work and economic growth. And Goal 10, reduced inequalities. The Government of India, led by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, driven by the ideology of integral humanism, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, has developed numerous policies and programs aimed at alleviating hunger of those at the lowest economic sections of the society. Based on this tenet, the Government of India has implemented various initiatives like National Nutrition Mission, National Food Security Mission, Zero Hunger Program, Eat Right India Movement, and Food Fortification Program, which have all benefited children, women, and vulnerable communities, bringing about food security and improved nutrition. As said earlier by several speakers here, the UNDP has estimated that India has lifted 415 million people out of poverty in the last 2 decades. The economic divide between the rich and the poor always existed in the past and will continue to exist on this planet. However, our only hope to provide food security to everyone on this planet is a compassion in the hearts of the wealthy that makes them share their wealth towards the cause. For such sharing, it is extremely important that we inculcate in our society the spiritual virtue of being less and less self-centric by embracing a more and more all-inclusive worldview of the entire world being one family, a paradigm described in Indian ethos as Vasudhaiva Eva Kutumbakam. It encompasses a passion for global well-being of every world citizen. Annadhan, or distribution of food, is considered to be the highest form of charity, Shreshtadhan, in Indian culture and has been practiced in India since ancient times. In Mahabharata, one of the great epics, it's mentioned that Lord Krishna advised Yudhishthira, Dadaswa annam, Dadaswa annam, Dadaswa annam. O Yudhishthira, give food, give food, give food. Such is the importance of food distribution in Indian culture. The word Akshaya Patra is also derived from the same Mahabharata. The Pandavas were blessed with a divine vessel during their exile in the forest. This vessel known as Akshaya Patra could produce unlimited quantity of food. True to its name, the Akshaya Patra program, started by feeding thousands, is now feeding millions of children. It is also enjoined in Indian culture that a human being, however prosperous, rich and accomplished he may become materially or even spiritually, he should never give up practicing the universal virtues of sacrifice, charity and austerity, which is yajna, dhana and tapa. The quality of compassion for fellow beings rises with a great force in the heart of a person who practices these virtues. The stakeholders of Akshaya Patra are such noble souls who have aroused such feelings of compassion for these hungry children. The numerous sustainable development goals of United Nations are very laudable. The goal of zero hunger is not merely an economic and organizational challenge, but it is also a challenge to find ways and means to infuse the universal spirit of compassion and sharing in the society beyond all religion, caste, gender, etc. However, the mission of zero hunger has to be prioritized among the children of this world. The famous saying is that child is a father of man. Mahatma Gandhi once spoke about the importance of beginning with children. Quote, if we are to reach real peace in this world, and if we are to carry on a real war against war, we shall have to begin with children. And if they will grow up in their natural innocence, we won't have to struggle. We shall go from love to love and peace to peace until at last all the corners of the world are covered with peace and love, for which consciously and unconsciously the whole world is hungering, unquote. Akshaya Patra is a food for education movement. We consider our task as that of arousing this potential quality of compassion within every human being to induce them to participate in this mission that no child should be deprived of education because of hunger. We present to the world at large that feeding the hungry, especially the children, is not mere charity, but it is a social obligation. We started this as a feeding program in Bangalore in the year 2000 for just 1,500 children in just 5 schools with no idea of scaling it up at that time. But the word of tasty free meals spread around, and there was great demand from hundreds of schools for free meals. The government estimated the government program of hot midday meal had not started then. We were hesitant to scale it up because we did not know where the funds would come from. Then something changed. We came across an anecdote in the life of the founder of the worldwide Hare Krishna movement, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. When he came across a scene outside his temple, he had tears in his eyes. The scene was that of village children and dogs were fighting over little remnants of food left over on the leaf plates heaped outside after serving a feast to the guests. He issued a mandate to all his followers to distribute food unlimitedly to the hungry, proclaiming that for a great cause of feeding the hungry, God Almighty will ensure that there will never be short of resources, provided we sincerely put our efforts. He gave the maxim For God's work, God will directly provide. Inspired by this faith, we decided to scale up the program in spite of not knowing where the resources would come from. Akshaya Patra's success in the last 2 decades in scaling up feeding from 1,500 children to 2.2 million children today is a testimony of this fact that any good work for the upliftment of mankind will never suffer for resources if we take it up selflessly. All of us at Akshaya Patra are witness to this phenomenon of divine intervention at different points of crisis during the growth story of Akshaya Patra. The activities of the soldiers of Akshaya Patra is not only cooking and delivering food day after day, but also to keep knocking at different doors day after day to evoke more and more souls to participate in this war against classroom hunger. Akshaya Patra has been successful in providing every stakeholder with a sense of belonging to this noble mission of eradicating hunger. This collaborative public-private partnership with the government has contributed towards not only eliminating classroom hunger, but also in improved learning ability, increased enrollment, retention of students in the schools, and ultimately getting families out of the cycle of poverty. Akshaya Patra's work in the last 2 decades have resulted in hundreds and thousands of families coming out of poverty. It fills our heart with pride to know that the children who are our past beneficiaries are now in high positions in reputed companies and have taken their entire family out of poverty. Akshaya Patra also assisted the Government of India in its relief efforts during the times of national disaster and especially during the time of COVID-19 pandemic. We served over 250 million meals during the pandemic in India. A kitchen was set up in Nepal to provide hot meals to people affected after a massive earthquake. Recently, we provided food, grocery, and hygiene kits in Turkey, benefiting thousands of earthquake survivors. We are also serving the people of Ukraine who were facing food security due to war. As we commemorate this important milestone at UN, it's a great occasion to offer gratitude to everyone who has shaped India's hunger alleviation efforts. Akshaya Patra expresses its special gratitude to the Government of India, the state government, the donors, members of our Board of Trustees in India, both present and past, and the Board of Directors of Akshaya Patra USA. Most of all, our appreciation for the full-time missionary disciples of Srila Prabhupada, who day after day oversee the operations and ensure that hot, nutritious meals are prepared and delivered to the schools on time all over the country. On this occasion, standing in this prestigious Hall of United Nations, Akshaya Patra announces to the world its commitment to share its rich experience in the use of best of technology and logistics of large-scale cooking and distribution of food with any organization in any part of the world to help them replicate this model to alleviate hunger. If invited by any country, Akshaya Patra is most willing to go beyond the boundaries of India, driven by the passion of well-being for every citizen on this planet. I thank the Honorable Prime Minister of India for his message of best wishes and words of encouragement on this occasion. Finally, I dedicate this milestone celebration of 4 billion meals to Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, whose message of spiritual love and compassion for the fellow being is a constant source of inspiration for Akshaya Patra. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, Prabhu. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce you to our keynote speaker, Nobel laureate, and UN SDG advocate, Mr. Kailash Satyarthi. Kailashji is the founder of Satyarthi movement for global compassion and the Bachpan Bachao Andolan. He has been instrumental in liberating more than 115,000 children from child labor, slavery, trafficking, and other forms of exploitation, and has developed a successful model for their education, rehabilitation, and reintegration into the society. Through his advocacy, he is instrumental in shaping significant legislative changes, making education a constitutional provision. He also established the Goodweave International to certify child labor-free products, contributing to the liberation of supply chains from child labor. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014 for his relentless advocacy against the oppression of children and youth and emphasizing their right to education. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite Mr. Kailash Satyarthi.
Dignitaries on the dais, dear sisters and brothers. I'm not standing here as a Nobel Peace Laureate or the UN SDG advocate. I stand here as a humble admirer of Akshaya Patra and its leadership. As we sit here in this auspicious building, and particularly in this Trusteeship Hall, we must remind that this is the place that represents hopes and inspirations of 8 billion people. This is the place that guarantees the protection of Mother Earth. This is a sacred place that represents hope of the future. So having this celebration here of Akshaya Patra is very significant. It sends a very strong message. Dear friends, I had a privilege to address General Assembly a couple of times. And the last one was in 2015, when we were cherishing the adoption of SDGs in the hall, another hall. And we were all very hopeful that we are going to achieve those goals by 2030 and some goals by 2025. But I would like to remind here that we have failed largely most of the goals. In this situation of sometimes despair and hopelessness, we always need success stories. We need fresh air. We need a light of hope, ray of hope. And today, through Government of India and Akshaya Patra's effort, we are able to give this hope to the world that India is not just a land of several problems, it's a mother of over 1 billion solutions. Four billion meals is not a joke. I was listening to the speakers and they were referring to compassion, especially Madhuji. And I was thinking that when the compassion in action merges with most advanced technology, professional management, and excellence, then it could be named as Akshaya Patra. Sisters and brothers, the world has never been so wealthier as it is today. We have never been so resourceful in technology, knowledge, information, in every aspect of life. The world has never been so connected through fast-speed internets and jets which takes us within no time from one to another place. But as the Secretary General stated a couple of weeks ago, that the world has never been so broken and divided as it is today. When we are so wealthy and so resourceful, why more than 250 million school-age children are not in school? They have to be in schools. Why 1 out of 5 children are facing chronic malnutrition? We have to introspect also in this space which is committed for the betterment of every single human being. We cannot afford to fail our children and our future. If we fail SDGs, we fail the future. And therefore, we have to introspect, as I said. I feel that there is a serious deficit in a sense of urgency, moral responsibility globally, and moral accountability. We are also seeing the paucity in moral compass. And why it is so? Because there is a serious gap growing between the problem solving and the problem, or the solutions and the problems. We know the problems, we know the solutions. We learn a lot throughout our experience, but something is lacking. And that is mentioned here again and again. And that is shrinking compassion. When I say compassion, it is not a religious thing. It is not mercy, kindness, benevolence, empathy, or any other soft emotion. Compassion is not a soft emotion. It's a power of transformation. All religions in the world, all revolutions in the world, all social transformations in the world were born out of compassion in action. Because when someone felt the suffering of masses and compelled from inside to take action to alleviate that suffering, religions and revolutions were born. And therefore, when we say that we have globalized economies and markets and data and information, consumption, production, everything, this is the time to globalize compassion. This is the time to globalize compassion. And dear sisters and brothers, I could say that if India cannot lead the globalization of compassion, no one can lead. India will lead the globalization of compassion. Compassion is the connect which is needed in our personal life, in our social life, in our political life, in our diplomacy, in the businesses, in every sphere of life. To assemble this broken world, when we say it's broken world, that means we believe in the oneness of world. We have to bring those pieces together, connect them together. And therefore, compassion is the deepest feeling for the suffering of others that compels us to take urgent action to alleviate that suffering. Compassion is problem solver. Compassion is not a tender emotion. Friends, I invite you to see the world which I see. Together, let us dare to imagine a compassionate world. All of us are inspired by what Akshaya Patra has done, and many other organizations in the world have done and achieved. The demonstration of collective compassionate actions. I see a compassionate world, compassionate governance and politics, compassionate leadership, where the governments in the world have to prioritize the well-being, the hopes and aspirations of the last person of society, as Gandhiji has said years ago, where the best interest of the most disadvantaged people should be in the heart of decision making, in the heart of policy making, in the heart of schemes. That is the world I see. I see a world where business is compassionate. Compassionate businesses means where the wealth and profits is shared with those people who have created it through their lands and hands. We have to look, we have to imagine a compassionate business in the world. Compassionate schools, compassionate hospitals, compassionate police. So a George Floyd, because he was black person, should not be killed in such a way, or in any other instance in the world which happens. We have to build the compassionate policing and compassionate judiciary. And finally, I see a world where the religions are compassionate. Religions cherish, the religious and faith institutions cherish the unity and their uniqueness together. The unity of humankind. This is the religion I wanted to see. Every single temple, church, mosque, every single holy place should be the safest heaven for a child of any community, for any caste, for any religion. A desperate child can knock on the door of a temple even if he is a Muslim or a Christian. That is the religion, compassionate religion we wanted to see. Finally, I would just recite what our rishis, thousands of years, innumerable years ago, have written. That was a kind of conviction and commitment they have given to us. Sangachadvam samvadadvam samvo manansi janatam deva bhagam yatha purve sanjananam upasate. Let us walk together so that no one is left out, no one is left behind. We have to create a level playing field where everybody has the opportunity to go to school. No one have to sleep hungry. No one should be exploited as slave. We have to walk together. We have to talk together with the language, in the language of love, one language of humanity. There should be a space where everybody can express herself and himself. That should be the world which our ancestors have shown to us. And finally it says, Sanjananam upasate. Let us assemble together as we are assembled here today. And let us remember the wisdom, experience and knowledge that has been given by our ancestors for ages. And that knowledge should become the knowledge and well-being for all human beings. And that is possible. We can be inspired by today. We should go with this commitment that the new era of the world is a compassionate world, and India is going to lead it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kailash, for those beautiful words. Heartwarming. Thank you. Thank you. We are in this great city of New York, and it is very nice of the mayor of the city, Mr. Eric Adams, who is going to, on behalf of whom, Mr. Deputy Commissioner of New York City, Mr. Dilip Chauhan, is going to present the citation to Madhu Pandit Dasa. Mr. Dilip Chauhan. We can just go this way. That will. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. We have received so many questions. I'm just going to ask respected Ruchira ji if we have time for a couple of questions, and would the delegates like to ask any questions? We will have time for 2 questions. If the honorable delegates, if we have any questions.
Check, 1, 2, okay.
If not, I have received 2 questions. So I'm going to ask, considering the Akshaya Patra Foundation's significant achievement in serving 4 billion meals under the PM POSHAN Abhiyan, how can international organizations collaborate more effectively to scale such initiatives globally, especially in regions facing acute food insecurity? May I ask Madhu Pandit Dasa to address this, please?
Thank you. The Prime Minister's POSHAN program, PM POSHAN program in India, is very unique because of the government involving NGOs and civil society to achieve its goal. So, if there is a message from India for other countries to succeed in such programs of feeding the children, or even any hunger eradication program, it has to be done not just by the government, but the government in joining hands with the civil society, non-governmental organizations, and anybody who has got the spirit of selfless service is a very big advantage. Every country has got organizations where there are selfless people working for selfless causes, and they should all be involved in it, and then what the government can achieve will be miraculous, as shown by Akshaya Patra in India.
Thank you. And I have a question for Satyarthi ji. Almost all SDGs are interlinked, including zero hunger and quality education, which is SDG 4. Can you please shed some light on interlinkage between zero hunger and other SDGs?
Thank you. As we are one body, but different parts of our body are interlinked, they affect each other. When these SDGs were being drafted, there were a lot of discussions, negotiations, bargains, etc. But I was the part of it in the end of the end. Informally, they invited me to talk on the children's related issues. So I remember that the 4 Ps were discussed that came from the Secretary General, then Secretary General. People, planet, prosperity, and peace. They were all interlinked. So different goals fit here and there in a zigzag manner. We cannot end poverty without good quality education for every child, every human being. Education is the key for prosperity and shared prosperity, because then the people will learn their rights. Education is the doorstep to attain rest of the rights and rest of the goals, so education is the cornerstone. And hunger is related to it. Child labor is also interlinked with it. If so many children are pushed into workforce as child labor in factories, mines, etc., 160 million children today are working in child labor. That means 160 million classrooms. That means 160 million missed climate actions. Also 160 million future that may be dragged into poverty forever or intergenerational poverty. So they are all interlinked. Similarly, we know, a lot of knowledge is available now that how the climate change is affecting education in certain parts of the world, in Africa, in some parts of Latin America. Haiti is one example that poverty, violence, and the climate change has brought a lot of disasters in that country. There are so many other examples. So climate change is affecting poor people and the poverty is increasing. Hunger is increasing. So we need to work in all these aspects in ending poverty, ensuring education, justice, peace for a sustainable world.
Thank you so much. Thank you for linking these words together. And I would like now Chairman of Akshaya Patra USA, Siva Sivaram, which we call our older brother, to deliver the vote of thanks. He's the CEO of Quantum Space and former CEO of Western Digital. Siva Sivaram.
I'm a grateful man. I'll tell you why I am grateful. I'm grateful today approximately because Ambassador Kamboj and the United Nations in this beautiful hall are recognizing the 4 billionth meal of Akshaya Patra. For that, I'm grateful. But more globally, when my wife Ranjana, who is here, and I were starting to raise our family, little did we realize that we would become the tiger parents of 2.1 million children. I am very thankful to all those 2.1 million children, and we are now getting to be 2.5, 3 million children. We love them all. I'm very grateful. I'm a grateful man to this Akshaya Patra family. Rachana, my younger sister here, was talking to us. Desh Deshpande, when he invited me to come and join Akshaya Patra, little did I realize that this whole volunteers, workers, daily who keep the promise of delivering the meals that we said we will deliver every day, and we deliver that every day for those beautiful children. For that, I am grateful. The Vasudeva Kutumbakam idea in Tamil, we call it Yadum Ure Yavarum Kelir. Every town is my hometown. Every person is my relative. That idea that Madhu Pandit ji and Chanchalapathi ji, you put it in action for us to be able to take it far. Thank you. I am grateful. There is a famous poet, Tamil poet, Subramanya Bharati, who said, Tani oruvanukku unavillayanil jagathinai azhithiduvom. Roughly translated, it says, if a single child were to be deprived of food or education, we will take that as our personal affront and we will move heaven and earth to solve that. We gathered together today here. Let's make that, as we say in these halls, let it be resolved that it would be a personal affront to us if we were to see a child deprived of food or education. In that spirit, I'm grateful to you all who have come from far and wide to show your support to Akshaya Patra. I am indeed a very grateful man, and thank you all.
Thank you, Siva. Thank you very much. With this, we conclude today's program. I would ask all of you to be seated till the dignitaries exit the hall. And we have, Akshaya Patra is a food-related organization, so we do have box lunches for all of you, which will be distributed outside. Thank you all very much. Thank you for coming and joining us for this celebration. Thank you.